Welcome back to Ramblings of a Storyteller. This is the quiet corner, where the lights sit low, where the stories don't rush, and where silence gets to stay as long as it needs to. If you're here, pull up a chair. We're not in a hurry. I've been sitting with something all day. Not solving it, not naming it, just sitting. There's a vigil happening in the corner of my chest. Something I can't quite see, but can feel the weight of, like a stone I've been carrying without realizing it was there. Today felt like January in the truest sense. Cold, gray, the kind of day that doesn't ask anything of you except to be present with what is. I didn't plan to slow down, but this morning, the world felt quieter than usual. The kind of quiet that doesn't come from an absence of sound, but from the way sound softens, muffled, like the air itself is holding its breath. I made coffee, just as always, watched the steam rise and disappear, sat at the window longer than I meant to, and somewhere in that stretch of stillness, I realized I wasn't waiting for anything. I was just here. There's a particular kind of silence that arrives when something shifts, when a chapter closes or a goodbye lingers longer than you expected. Not the silence of empty rooms, the silence of full ones, where the air feels thick with what hasn't been said, what doesn't need to be said, what can't be said yet because the words haven't formed. I've been thinking about my father lately, not in a loud, grief-heavy way, more like remembering the shape of him, the way he'd sit on the porch in the evenings, hands folded, staring out at nothing in particular. I used to think he was lost in thought. Now I wonder if he was just listening to the hum of cicadas, to the rustle of leaves, to the way silence sounds different depending on the season. Today, I felt like that. Like I was learning his language without trying to, sitting with the stillness instead of breaking it open to see what's inside, resisting the urge to name it, fix it, turn it into something manageable. Because some things aren't meant to be managed. Some things are meant to be witnessed. I didn't check my phone much. Didn't turn on music to fill the space. Just let the quiet be a companion in the room. Not empty, but full in a way I'm still learning to recognize. The kind of fullness that only shows up when you stop trying to fill it yourself. You see, there's a sovereignty in silence, a kind of dignity. It doesn't ask permission, doesn't apologize for taking up space, doesn't rush to make you feel better or offer easy answers. It just holds. Like a hand that doesn't pull you forward but steadies you where you stand. I think we're taught to be afraid of silence, to see it as a gap, a void, something that needs solving. But today it felt more like a threshold, a doorway I could stand in without needing to walk through, a place where I could let things be unfinished and still feel whole. I've been noticing what happens when I don't move too quickly. When I let the moment breathe instead of rushing to the next one. There's a softness that arrives. A kind of knowing that doesn't come from thinking, but from staying still long enough to feel the weight of things settle. This afternoon, I lit a candle. Not for any particular reason. Just to mark the moment, I guess. To say, something is happening here, even if I don't know what to call it yet. The flame barely moved, just a small point of light in the gray. And I sat there watching it for longer than made sense. The way it held steady, the way the wax pooled and cooled, the way time moved differently when you weren't measuring it. I don't know what I'm saying here. Or maybe I do, but I'm letting it unfold slowly. Letting it find its shape instead of forcing one onto it. There's a vigil happening. Not the kind with answers or conclusions. The kind that sits with what's tender and doesn't turn away. The kind that says, I see you. I'm here. And I'm not leaving yet. And maybe that's what silence does. It doesn't solve. It doesn't fix. It just stays. And in the staying, something else takes shape. Something I don't have words for. Something I'm not sure I'm supposed to. This has been another rambling, a slow day unfolding, a thought still walking beside me. Until next time, this was Ramblings of a Storyteller. A vigil held, a silence honored, a story still unfolding.